Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Ooh, yes, here we go. We hopped up on that bus. Bert, chill, Hight, Roger, and Lowy, crushing friendly Gus. Bulldog vision, all these boys see is red. What a crappy life, R.I.P. Ed. Heights GMC, you're collecting all the dust. We want the smoke to come.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by Premier Properties of Dublin. We are your first and your only source for mediocre, below average sports coverage. We've got some above average humor, though. Glad you could join us today. My name is Chill. We got the whole gang in here with us this morning, so let's meet the big and the ugly team. Sitting to my right, he's a UGA graduate. He's a die-hard dog. He can make a bottle of mouthwash stink. His bottom row looks like he bit a brick. He's the pride of Buddy Johnson Road. I'm talking about Adam Hight. Hightower.
Are you catching an echo? I feel like I'm hearing an echo.
It sounded like when we started the other day. It sounded like
Two years slow.
But it don't sound like it usually on the thing. So.
Hey.
I was told by Haley it's the best sounding one we've had. Was in there.
Nice. Sitting to his right, he looks like chewed up bubblegum with his shirt off. Nobody dries out a brisket like him. Best known for bragging about his humility. I'm talking about Matt Opie Hightower.
Yeah, that humility really has hit home with people around Perry and Warner Robins.
They've been commenting on
a lot.
That thing resonates a little bit.
Also the bubblegum.
And sitting to my left, he had a cup of coffee in the Marines. They call him short story long, survives daily off of 5-hour energy shots, 0% research, but 100% passion. I'm talking about the War Eagle for life, the Bear, Mitch Lawhorn.
Good morning. Good morning, fellas.
I can't help think how you just this haircut that you got going on with the hair product.
I just don't think it's that bad.
It couldn't be worse.
I genuinely thought it was a good haircut until everybody started making fun of it.
Yeah, but I might have been like that. And
it's significantly thicker.
And when you get a lot thinner.
Yeah, but also when you throw in a lot of product, it looks like you hadn't washed it, like it's greasy.
But I have naturally oily hair. Anyway.
So that's more of your natural look.
It's more of my natural look.
So do you circle back for that same haircut when it's time?
I will tell you what, I will never set foot in that place again.
Where'd you go?
Don't blast them on there. Is it a
never mind.
I'm sure they're not.
A lot of power.
No, they're not.
It's Warner Robins.
Oh, not local.
Warner Robins.
Actually, there are like 4 or 5 local spots I would 10 times rather go to, but it's always a waiting list.
So play some Warner Robins.
Play some Warner Robins. That's what happens.
Just make an appointment with Michael Brown at Brown & Company.
He wasn't here when I mentioned that last week. Michael Brown is the guy. He's my go-to guy.
Yeah,
but he's so booked. It's hard to get in there.
And Law's got a tight schedule.
You don't have your big goat this morning?
No, I didn't go that one.
No, why?
Because we out here in BF Egypt.
There's a Friendly Gus right on the.
2 of them.
I don't go to Friendly Gus.
Well, I mean, they got big goats.
Well, I don't go in the mornings for Friendly Gus. But
You got something against them?
He's boycotting Friendly Gus.
I just if I'm gonna get one.
Girlfriend works in AM.
Loves this. I'm sponsoring. Loves is sponsoring me. So
okay. But they're gonna be disappointed today.
They are.
What about Jay's intro music? We're gonna get Jay introduced here
because he couldn't pick his intro music. He didn't show up this morning.
Is he not the
He's
king?
gonna be in the window.
Is he not the king of like being amped up, like super amped up for something until it's actually time to do it?
Oh yeah.
And I know you mentioned yesterday, Hight, the Charlotte trip. Just briefly run down kind of what happened there.
It was
Outer Banks.
Yeah, I think we've talked about this before on the show.
New audience, though.
Yeah, I mean, a whole crowd of friends. There's probably 12 of us waiting up there in North Carolina. Before we headed out, multiple people offered to let him ride with them. He said, no, I'm heading out on, Friday or something. He sends us a Snapchat. He's got his truck packed up. I mean, chairs, every suitcase, everything. He gets to the end of the driveway, sends a Snapchat. Then he goes radio silence for hours. We finally hear back, yeah, I ain't coming.
We think he's halfway there at this point.
Yeah, we're like texting him, checking on him because it's been so long, and he's like, "Nah, no, I'm not gonna make it."
He's talked. I came out here Saturday to watch the game. We talked a little bit about the show. He's talked about it for a week about his intro in the text, his music, this and that, and then in typical Jay fashion last night. Hey, I'm gonna let y'all have
up
this
until
one,
about 8:00 last night. He was still talking about intro music.
He started getting sleepy.
He got a mic for me.
He started getting sleepy and couldn't handle it.
One thing about him now, he's not gonna sacrifice much.
No,
consistent though. Consistent. That's what I've always loved about Jay. As long as you know who he is, you're not disappointed.
Can't be disappointed. mad. You can be hurt still.
Yeah, it hurts, but you don't really get your hopes up. It's fine. He's that guy.
And the thing is, he's like, I can fill in if somebody don't come. But but there's no chance the morning of that if somebody's like, hey, I can't make it, we're going to be able to get him in here.
And we're in his front.
I don't know.
And we're in his front.
And we're in his front yard.
I probably shake
He
him
can
out of
come
bed.
in his pajamas.
Oh, man. So if this is your first time joining us, make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening, especially if it's YouTube. Down in the bottom of the screen, there's a subscribe button. Click on that. But any other platform you're listening on, make sure you subscribe. We are actively looking for sponsors. Man, had the sponsors rolling in over the last couple of weeks. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, listen, our platform's growing weekly. Social media, we're up to almost 1,650 followers, which is almost 1,000 up from a couple weeks ago. So we've got a great opportunity.
Still waiting on Parrish.
Still waiting on Parrish. Yeah, I think we're going to keep waiting on that. They ain't got enough money.
Well, they give us Opie.
I don't.
They say y'all can have him. Y'all can have him.
Priceless. Worth way more than a sponsorship.
So if you're interested in that, reach out to us, biguglysports@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on our social media. So, and one more shout out before we get going. Former bus employee Cam Bigelow playing in the state championship next week. So congrats to Cam and Coffee County. They are absolutely been putting people to sleep all the way through. So
Original member, old Cam. So shout out to him. So obviously, a lot to talk about, but mainly today, I just want to hear your guys' initial reaction of the Final Four. That seems to be the talk everybody's talking about right now. So whoever wants to chime in first.
I hate to say that I called it, but
here we go.
Kelly,
go back and listen.
Please.
What'd you say?
That Georgia, if Georgia lost, they didn't have a chance of getting in.
At one point, he said,
in every scenario
at
possible,
one point he
Georgia
said,
would not have got in.
At one point, he said Alabama was going to beat Georgia. I remember you saying that. And then, later on, he changed his mind. And I asked him. I said,
and he got mad.
You remember? You remember? I asked him, "Are you officially changing your mind that Georgia's going to win?" And you said,
and you said it's okay if you are going to. And remember, then he got mad. I can't change. I watched them play.
Do you remember that?
I do.
Do you remember that? No. He does not remember that.
That's when you said that. That's when you said that dirty word that I had to go back and change.
Well, first of all, I said I don't want Georgia to lose, but if they lose, they're not in. Is what I said. In every scenario I had drawn up on my cards, they were not in.
This is classic law. He said both things so he could come back later. I said it on the show.
Hey,
y'all remember I said it.
Not who the Final Four was going to be. Again, I wanted Georgia to win. I wanted rooted for them, watched the game, upset when they lost.
Yep, cried.
Again, but in every scenario that they lose that game, they're not in the Final Four.
Here's my thing. If Georgia was so good to bring Alabama into it, then how do you not have Georgia in it?
Because Texas beat them.
But the thing is, if Georgia is so good to bring Alabama up from 8 to 4, they have to be one of the best 4 teams in the country.
And Texas beat them.
Yeah, but that's a different argument.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand completely.
Unlikely.
If Alabama goes in, Texas has to go in. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but that's a fair argument.
What you're saying is, if Georgia brings up,
if that win is worth that much, then Georgia has to be that good.
The only argument I think that Georgia had at all is what Kirby Smart said: is no number one that was defeated in their conference championship ever was dropped out of the Final Four. Georgia's the first to ever.
But like what I think, what he said, it'd be different if Georgia lost to like Texas was playing Oklahoma State. If Georgia lost to a 12, sure. But like Jay said in the text, you're saying Georgia, the number 1 team, has lost to a team that you deem a top 4 team in Alabama, and that dropped them all the way to 6. And there's nobody. There was no win-win for those guys. But it's almost like I thought there's 2 options. You can go with the 4 best or the 4 most deserving. And I don't think they went with either. I think they kind of.
Yeah, they kind of.
So if you make the argument that Florida State is out because they're not one of Good setup. Good setup. They're not one of the four best teams.
You don't need to grab it, do you? I mean, and if you need to grab
I didn't grab it. I grabbed it because it fell.
No. You
No,
you're not
now.
now.
You not it now.
You're not now. But when we move, we go from the arm. We just
Listen. It's only his third
That's
show.
right. First time with the boom
You
arm.
had to rush to set up this morning because you showed up late.
Well, what I'm trying to do
suffering
is-
because of it. Let me get my point across.
But hold on,
okay?
but before
Let me get my
we go
point
any further,
across. Let me get my point
But
across.
I don't want you to
This
have
is
the
my-
posture
this is my
issues that I
segment.
have. I don't want you to have the
already
posture
do.
issues I have.
I feel like Adam's sitting taller than me and self-conscious. I'm exposed over here. I can't stand this. I don't like it. It's not my good
Look at him.
side.
He don't even know he's still touching the mic. He don't even know.
From the arm. I'm
No, you're not.
on the arm.
No, you're not.
Now
Keep
you're
going
now
up.
you're up.
Oh,
Now
but just
you're
keep
up.
your hand. Oh, but just keep your hand right.
All right, get to your point.
To my point, if you're leaving Florida State out, because they are not one of the quote unquote four best teams because they lost their quarterback, and we're saying we're just going to objectively judge who's the best team by the eyeball test, then Georgia is undisputedly one of the four best teams in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's your criteria for leaving Florida State out, you should not switch your criteria to leave Georgia out
Right.
and go off a resume. So they just picked and choose what they wanted to do. You're right. It was an unwinnable situation. And I felt like they picked this situation because they couldn't decide between Alabama and Texas, and they couldn't leave the SEC out. So this was the least harmful situation they could pick.
Do you think with that committee, like TV ratings and stuff factor in with the SEC team, knowing that that's going to draw the biggest ratings?
Of course.
Well, the all the decisions are made for money. Like that's the root of it all.
Well, I'm thinking
something else I noticed. They put Georgia at 6 and FSU at 5.
that was to appease FSU.
Yes. And does anybody in the country think
And if I'm
We're gonna find out.
FSU,
FSU
if I'm
better than
FSU,
Georgia?
I could care less about being 5 or 6.
you could or couldn't?
I
Couldn't.
could care
Okay.
care less.
So you're able to
about
care
being
less?
5 or 6.
You couldn't care less. That's the correct way to say it.
Well, regardless of however you say it, thanks for correcting my English. But regardless, FSU, if they're not in the Final Four, I mean, who gives a crap? What other ranking you're going to give them? It's the same as Georgia. I can already tell you there's probably going to be about 4 or 5 Georgia players that opt out of that game.
Well,
Well, Florida State will have them too.
yeah, but I mean, I was just kind of really speaking to just how they are not
it
very
was almost-
consistent. in
Kirby's
what they're
even
doing.
already kind of set it up in his interview about players opting out of that game because of the new redshirt rule, we're going to be able to play players that haven't played all year. Well, you're going to have to because you're going to have 4 or 5 players
But
that opt out of that game.
I think Kirby is excited about that because the only thing I can figure is I mean, if I were Kirby, I would be thinking, all right, these guys, we're losing some of these guys. Let's go ahead and see what we got. This is just another practice session scrimmage game.
This
See
year's
what you
over.
got.
This year's over.
Yeah.
Move on to next year.
And get those
ahead.
early enrollees in and get the price for them. But it was with the Florida State, you just felt like it was a sympathy at 5 because realistically, if you're not going to be in the top 4, then you could argue that they bump back to 6, 7
Yeah.
because you're sitting there saying, well, we feel Georgia's better than them. I mean, Alabama's better than them. However, we think they're better than Georgia. We're going, no,
That's not
you don't
true.
think that.
It's not
I'm
true at
watching.
all.
But and
Their
you
game
should,
was hard
you
to
should
watch.
still look at. I mean, we're picked 14 points over them. Mm-hmm. I mean,
It's one of the bigger spreads in the whole
if
bowl
we're paired up
season.
with Michigan, we're picked over them.
Yeah.
If we're paired up with Washington, we're picked over them.
We're favorites
So if
in
we're going to favor.
every-
Well,
then
you know,
then
Michigan's
how
the
are we
favorite
not
out
in
the
the-
8 over Bama.
How are we
They
not
were.
in the Final Four if we're favored by Vegas in every scenario?
Because Vegas doesn't make the Final Four.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
the committee says they're going to put the best 4 teams in.
Yeah.
If Georgia's
they lied.
favored over
Yeah, they
every
don't mean
team.
that.
They lied.
They don't mean it.
So who do you think, and we probably are going to have about the same, who do you think are the best 4 teams in no particular order? Is Washington out, even though, they've beaten everybody? They've beaten Oregon, who was a really good team coming in.
Yeah, I don't think Washington is one of the 4 best teams. Like you have Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and Michigan.
I'm personally, I could go either way, Texas or Washington. I feel like the Texas win over Alabama, it's worth something because they went to Tuscaloosa and won.
What about FSU beating 2 SEC?
However, I don't really feel like this is my take.
That's all you can have.
Yeah, thank you. If Alabama and Texas played for the SEC championship game, what do we think the outcome would be? And if you watched the Texas play, I mean, they played well versus Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State lost to South Alabama. And I just, to me, that's just, but, they lost to Oklahoma. So Washington's undefeated.
To the FSU comment, though, I know without a doubt that the committee factored in Jordan Travis being out. I think if Jordan Travis is there, they're in. I mean,
probably, yeah.
So they beat Florida without Jordan Travis.
That's Florida, though.
Florida's not good.
Bad.
They had like 57 passing yards. But, I mean, Jalen Milrose is not much better than a backup quarterback.
No.
He's not good. He is a bad quarterback. He's a great runner. And sometimes if he's out there running and people don't cover the guy, he can throw it to him. But he's not a bona fide number one quarterback. He would not start at Georgia. He's not going to start at any of the quality teams that are left. What's the difference between that and Florida State? The biggest thing is who gets to decide which player is important enough that you don't get to go into the playoffs? It's just so arbitrary.
That's why I think it's ridiculous that there was a committee of people. And I watched a interview from Mike Leach yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
From a few years ago.
2017.
Yeah, a few years ago, and he was raking them over the coals.
Similar to Law,
make you miss him.
He called it way ahead of time.
Yeah,
Law will do it now.
Pull the tape.
I did.
All right, y'all, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We've got a lot of college football to talk about, got some bowl games to talk about, and immediately on the other side of the break, we're going to update you with the final Big Ugly Sports standings from the year. So make sure you stay with us. We will be right. As soon as I get there, we will be right back. For all of your commercial and residential real estate needs, give Premier Properties of Dublin a call at 478-274-1606. Their customer service is unmatched, and they'll give you the deal that you want. Again, that's Premier Properties of Dublin at 478-274-1606. Title sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show.
This is Brad Meeks, owner of Brian's Giant Subs. Thanks for listening to the Big Ugly Sports Podcast. Come see us today to grab your favorite sub, 1632 Veterans Boulevard in the Oaks Shopping Center, Dublin, Georgia.
J2 Streaming Services. With over 9,000 live channels and packages starting at $15 per month, you literally can't beat it. Visit them on the web at www.j2streaming.com. Proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show.
Bank of Dudley is proud to sponsor the Big Ugly Sports Show. Wherever you're listening to your favorite sports show, you can also be banking with your favorite bank. Bank of Dudley offers mobile and online banking platforms to make managing your money easy. Get on that Bank of Dudley bus. Bank of Dudley since 1905. Member FDIC.
Elite Comfort Solutions. Based out of Lyons, Georgia, they specialize in commercial and residential HVAC. Call them today at 833-483-HVAC or visit them at www.elitecomfortsolutions-inc.com for a quote. Elite Comfort Solutions is a proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Is your house dumb dirty? Caked up mud all up in the driveway? Too much to clean and too little time? Give Sweet Onion City Exterior Wash a call at 912-326-1615 for a free quote today. Sweet Onion City Exterior Wash is a proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Are you riding around the 478 or the 912 with a vehicle that is as ugly, dirty, and smelly as Hight? If so, head on over to Big Peach Car Wash located across from Walmart on Highway 80 in Dublin, Georgia.
Getting ready for a weekend with friends? Be sure to visit Black Shear Beverage with two locations, one at Georgia 300 and the other at Highway 280 in Cordele, Georgia. Black Shear Beverage, proud sponsor of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by Premier Properties of Dublin. It is time now for our Brian Subs winner. So we appreciate all you people that got on Facebook and Instagram and shared. And so our winner for this week, Renee Williams. Renee Williams, congratulations.
She's a big fan of the show.
Congratulations, Renee. Make sure you go by Brian Subs and enjoy a half sub courtesy of Brian's Giant Subs. Tell them the bus team sent you. I'm struggling.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Brad.
No comment on your poor English.
Yeah. Well,
like y'all like to love to do me.
I've never done that before in my life.
You haven't. You have never.
I would never.
These clowns love to.
Anyhow,
It's because I care about you.
Coca-Cola sponsor.
Yeah, we'd rather correct you on here than you sound like you needed it outside of here. So sorry about the lighting loss too. Opie put out the fire over here on the right side as we noticed it was melting one of Jay's lights, and this will be the first he hears of this on this show. So Jay, one of the brand new lights we put in here right above the heater.
That's on Jay.
That's not strategically placed
Grab
well.
that
It's melted.
replacement bulb, bud.
Yeah, it's already that one's a wrap. So.
It's piss poor planning.
But let's update you on our overall bus standings for the year. Opie came on late, finishing 5th at 15 and 15. We're not basing it on percentage. You just didn't do enough, and I didn't want to finish last. So I mean,
That's terrible.
15 and 15. You're in dead last. Really, 15 and 15 would have been in second place.
Yeah.
So,
Percentages?
yeah, on percentage. So Chill coming in 4th. 63, 76, and 1, which is about my standard betting record. So I would have been upside down several dollars right there. Law coming in 3rd place, slightly above me at 65, 74, and 1. And then the final 2. Hight coming in 2nd, almost at 500. That tie, if we give you the tie, you're at 500. 68, 69, and 1. So if we give you that tie to a win,
But we will not.
Well, really, what hurt me was when I said on the show that I wanted Oregon, and then whenever I'm like got 4 kids on a Saturday, and I'm trying to, you're like, give me the picks, and I can't remember what I said, so I just
Don't blame Chill because you
That's
can't
exactly
handle your
what he
business.
did.
Don't shut up.
that's exactly what he did.
Listen, he called
Like
me.
I knew he had 4 kids
He
when I on his
called,
hands.
he called
when
me
texted
after the show last week and was like, man, you were supposed to have my back on that. I can't believe you do that. I was like, you were wrong.
One thing,
I wasn't
one thing
wrong. I
I'm
wasn't
learning
wrong.
about Hight,
Never.
he reaches out to us individually off air to try to get us to
Master
do
manipulator.
I learned that in a leadership book.
So we all know
Never-
that text is final.
Don't be
That's what we go
confrontational in the
by.
group. Is that what it said in the leadership group?
It says anytime you have an idea, you're supposed to get people on your side.
One-on-one buy-in.
Yes.
And so Raji
It has
wins.
not worked well. I don't know. I don't recommend that book 1 star.
Raji takes down first place at 74, 65, and 1. But the good thing about it, it's going to reset in the bowl games. We're all back 0-0.
Did you calculate my 7-2-1 into that?
I don't remember. Probably not.
Do some homework, Chill. Do better.
No, I mean that's,
Shut up.
They're still
Shut up.
idiot.
Yeah, you idiot.
There's still 8 or 9 weeks in there where you could have easily went upside. Now we all had our good weeks. We all had our 7 and 3.
I guess we're talking about what
Championship
is
week
now.
really hurt me.
Well, I
And
get-
that puts
what
him
if-
last. So
I'm
I'm
the
the
He's
Florida
actually
State of this group. I'm the Florida State of this group.
If he does that, it puts him as last. So that'll never happen.
Well, we can't help you didn't commit early enough. I mean that's on you. So
Stupid.
I mean, just math is math.
Idiot.
all right.
Freaking moron.
Transfer portal up and running. I think was it in this group or another group that somebody sent? There were over 1,000 that had entered the transfer portal since yesterday morning. So Brock Vandergriff, one of them. Do you off the cuff think of anybody else from Georgia that you see maybe transferring out? I know Darius Smith, the D lineman, had already.
There's
declared.
4 guys that are
There's-
transferring out, but they're not significant playing time guys, so it shouldn't hurt us.
Good for Brock.
Yeah, graduated in 3 years. Great kid. His great aunt.
You know him?
His great aunt
loves
and
him.
I used to work together.
Cool.
A couple years ago.
That makes you know him, yeah. That's fair.
Yeah,
Comes from good
good
stock.
people. Good people. Good family.
Okay.
Vandergriff.
Where does he
So
end up?
That's a
Carson,
good football name.
Carson Beck's coming back.
Yeah, I think that
Has
was my
been-
initial
You're
reaction.
just guessing on that.
If
just 'cause
Brock's
Brock-
leaving,
If
it's because Carson's coming back.
Vandergriff leaving, Beck must be coming back.
And if you're Vandergriff, I mean, yeah, Beck coming back, you're like, all right, I'm not going to beat him unless he gets hurt. You got Riola coming in, who's going to be the future. So he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. And
I think
Who do we go?
are
and
you
try
going to keep correcting me on names? I mean, that's the second.
Trying to help you. People, our
Okay.
fans don't like it when you
Do they know who Riola is?
Who?
Riola?
Rail. Well, now they
Riola?
do.
Dylan?
Yeah, now they do.
Mr.
Who does Georgia
Pronunciation
try to
over here.
go and get? White out.
We got to have line help.
Yeah.
Need to get Barry Alexander back. Even though
We
you
got
get
that junior college defensive tackle coming in. But I think we need help at linebacker and
I think we're okay at linebacker. I mean, you got to think those guys, C.J. Allen and
we
Raylan
need
Wilson.
depth. We need depth. I mean,
But we've
to
always
me,
recruited good there.
wide receiver and linebacker was our 2 biggest weaknesses down the stretch because of injuries.
It's injuries.
I said,
I
Okay,
don't
just make
think
sure.
wide receiver was a weakness for us.
you don't think wide receiver was a weakness in the
I
game that
felt
we just
like-
played Saturday?
Exactly.
where we didn't have Ra, we didn't have Lovett, McConkey and Bowers were both injured.
Well,
and
yeah, I mean,
hopping around on the
if
field.
you take out 4 starters, then it is a weakness.
That's what I'm saying.
But there is a limit to how many people you can carry.
I didn't say wide receivers was a weakness. I said it was a weakness for us Saturday because we had injuries.
Let's take people out the portal because of one game. That makes sense.
I don't. Did I?
Are you familiar with roster management?
I said defensive tackle and linebacker. I said defensive tackle and linebacker.
Look at him when you say that.
Why don't you listen?
I'm listening.
Shut up,
You're not
you
saying
idiot.
anything worth listening to. This guy's, how did he even get on this show?
I can tell you how lack of attendance from the rest of the group.
That's it.
What really did in Hight was that time me and you had to do it solo, just me and you, and that
It's not
ratings plummeted. And we said we got
It's bad.
here we go. Now
Terrible.
we don't need anything from the peanut gallery over there.
Terrible.
Literally, the only reason we added you because we knew you would be so bad, people would just like a car wreck. They can't look away from you.
But also too, at some point,
It's what you get for not having my back.
There it is.
Catching that
some
heat
point-
this morning.
Ratings went up when I came on.
But Hight's already said
People
it.
speak.
There you go.
Hight's already said it. Eventually, the news is going to wear off, and you'll probably fade out.
It almost happened this morning.
Baby, I almost said you can't do the show no
and
more.
when I get home, we get that tongue lashing for making too much noise this morning.
Wait a tongue.
Oh, easy now.
Is that good or bad? I'm not sure.
He made it dirty.
Can you not get out quietly? I mean, I didn't even wake my wife
So
up when I
here's
got
the
out.
thing.
Have you looked at him?
Here's the thing.
Dude looks like he's clumsy just from sitting here.
No,
Get your hands
I
off the
was
mic.
quiet except for I like to run the hairdryer in the morning a little bit.
Hair dryer?
Are you kidding me?
Kidding me?
So
That's embarrassing.
This hair,
Opie, that's on you.
it sticks up.
This
I
is
like to
gonna
make
hurt
it
you at the
stick
office.
up. It makes
This is
my
gonna
face
hurt you
look
at the office
longer.
for sure.
There it is.
Makes my face look longer, so I blow the hair up.
Don't worry about
it's
how
less
wide it
red.
looks.
Well, that's why. I need it to be
He
longer.
needs it to be longer so it don't look
And
as
then
wide.
also, so
Do you think that'll make you less squinty?
no,
Like
nothing
it'll pull
will.
down?
Hey, you
But
know
also,
what?
I like
You're
to
3
blow
bills,
dry.
but your face looks long.
I've tried to do the best I can with what I got. But I also like to just blow dry my whole body. Warms me up. I'm cold in the morning.
kidding?
So I just like,
Where is this
I
going?
like to blow dry my beard, my
I'm
chest
so
hair,
embarrassed.
all the way down.
Daddy,
All the way
please
down.
forgive him. He's
All the way
listen,
down.
if you wanted
But I
to
turned
know
it
why
on
he's
low.
not the pride of Buddy Johnson Road, he gave you a couple reasons right here.
So in the
You
45,
should try it. Listen, it'll change your life. You just if you're cold in the
No.
morning like I am, it just warms you up. It just feels good.
Well,
So-
first of all, I'm a man, so I don't need to get warmed up
Come on
by a
now.
hairdryer.
Come on now.
So in the 45 minutes you blow dry and she woke up.
I had it on low. My bad.
Oh,
Just
you
started
gonna
dog-
call, you gonna
just
call
started
this
dog
The
Embarrassing,
only text I got was said, "This is very frustrating."
And now she's going to listen to it, and now you're making
Zero
fun of her
chance.
and laughing.
Zero
at her.
chance she listens.
She
to it.
listened to the Thanksgiving
That's because
episode.
I told her we talked about her mac and cheese, but I would not tell her what we said.
That's fine. I'll text her today, let her know we talked about her today.
So the
She'll
choice
tune
for
in.
you is blow dryer or the show. That's kind of what it comes down to. Are you willing to give up that
It'll be
making your
cold.
face look
I'm
longer?
good with it.
I've
Cold
known
Tuesday morning
I've
next
known you
week.
for almost 39 years, and you doing this with your hair does not make me see you any differently. You're as round as ever.
His face don't look longer.
No.
It's look longer today.
It does look a little longer than usual.
Yeah.
I'm on your side.
Now that you mentioned it,
Now that you mentioned, I was thinking, what's different about him? His face looks longer.
yeah, I like that baseball.
Oh, I don't even know what we were talking about. I feel like you were making a
Transfer
point.
portal. Transfer portal.
Okay. Y'all got any? I know Ed threw out in our group that he feels like Vandegrift could end up at Auburn. Where do y'all think? Any
Auburn. So he
I think he's
Mr.
going to Oregon.
Prediction.
I think
got-
he's going to Oregon.
I mean, that would be a good landing spot for
Hey, I like
his
that, Tank
talent.
Law.
Well, I mean-
I like that.
He's a
And
good
he
quarterback.
already knows the coach.
Where'd you read that? I know you didn't come over it on your
Dan
own.
Lanning.
No, I read it. I did read it somewhere, but I think he's going to go to Oregon.
That would be a great fit for him. Great fit. I mean, Auburn would be too. He's a great dual threat quarterback. Real smart kid. Family,
see, I always
family
heard-
has Auburn ties.
He knows him again, don't he? I always heard that the reason he
Inside
couldn't play at
scoop, you heard
Georgia
it
was because
first.
he was not smart enough to like learn the playbook and things like that. But then you see that he graduated in 3 years.
You heard that?
I did.
From who?
But I don't know him like you, so
From who?
just I've read that before. That
Coach's
he
kid? Doesn't know the playbook? That doesn't make any sense.
it ain't the coach's
That doesn't
playbook.
make
He's not
any
Kirby's
sense.
kid.
Any sense.
So a coach's kid, a high
the
school
pause.
He
coach's kid,
paused, thought about it, went in on it.
a high school
Committed.
coach's kid can't know a college playbook like that's unheard of.
So you think he's just not smart enough to learn the playbook?
And make it. I've read that before where he was slow to learn the playbook and slow to make adjustments at the line and read a defense and things like that.
Where'd you read it?
I can't remember my source.
I've read the same thing, and it's pretty common
But
knowledge.
we don't know
if you're a dog fan, okay, and you've got
It's common knowledge.
yeah, it's pretty common knowledge. So this guy,
But that, he ain't told you that. Brock didn't tell you that when y'all talked.
It wasn't on the Snapchat,
Okay.
were y'all?
FaceTime.
I could see both of you
Family
talking about your
reunions.
hair
Look at-
dryers.
I think it's his hair gets a little wild.
He don't need any help making his face. His face don't look fat as yours.
So long already.
But not my head. My head's more long, kind of like a pterodactyl.
Well,
my face isn't
he's
long.
got the little bandana thing pulling his hair back. Oh, that really makes your face look long.
That does.
Is that next up for you?
His face is obviously not that long
His
without
work,
that.
his work won't allow him to wear the bandana.
Yeah, but on the show, instead of blow drying next week, go headband, and then when you leave here, it'll be standing up.
I've been going without the hair dryer, but I just couldn't. I was like, man, I gotta have.
I'm chilly. I got
I
not a
gotta
chill
have-
off. I got
I'm
another
gotta
chill
have
off.
it.
I'm gonna be on TV this morning.
Gotta look my best.
Oh man, that's
Still
wild.
some work left to do.
I feel like there's some titled episodes coming somewhere from that right there. So
I mean, I'll let you know. I come up with it every week.
Oh my gosh. You see what I'm talking about now, don't you?
this humility.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I normally shoot the Hightower brothers are the best at coming up with them, and you did get it last week. Height was too
And
slow
the-
on
and
the
the week
trigger.
before.
Was Height too
Not
slow
the
on the
week
trigger?
before.
Yeah. No, the last 2 weeks.
Okay. 2 out of a year and
Pretty
a half.
much every show I'm on that I'm asked.
2 out of a year and a half. Hey, thank you. You know that's one thing I've noticed.
He,
People,
finger got caught in it.
him and Jay are just alike.
I'm here.
They contribute a little bit,
Minus he
but
shows
they
up.
forget that we've been doing this for quite some time before.
Jay's
they got
here. He's just sitting a little too far away from the mic.
Y'all can't hear
Oh yeah,
it.
Jay. Now both of them have been on. Well, Jay ain't even been on, but Opie's been on for a while, and Jay's given us this place. So if you ask either one of them, we couldn't do it without them now.
Yeah.
Like,
He,
And
he told us yesterday he was the most important member of the show.
Jay said that outside of Chuck, he's done more for the show than anybody.
That may be.
so
And that's
is
not
this-
true.
Is this
he
his?
may have contributed more.
Is this his gift to us, or is this Benny's gift to us?
I was just about to say, this is all Benny. Jay's done nothing except tell us Benny said y'all can use it. That's it.
Benny still makes calls out here.
Ain't no doubt.
I wish Jay was here to talk about it.
I think it's better when he's not.
Benny tells Jay, you need to get out there and cut that grass, and Jay comes out here and cuts the grass around the place.
Well, we ordered a fifth mic set, so do I need to go ahead and return that once it gets
Yeah,
in?
I told you not to invest in Jay. He's unreliable.
I should have listened. I mean, I was getting ready
I
to draw up a
got
logo.
faith in him. I'm saying go ahead and put him on the logo.
Well, that was
No.
the plan. That
No
I was
chance.
about to, because it's only for the logo we have. It only costs $25, which I paid out of my pocket last time to get long face on there.
Hadn't seen it.
Yeah, it's on every platform except for social media because we hadn't made
Which
an
I
announcement
told you,
about
you
it.
jumped the gun on that. I feel like he needs to earn his keep a little bit.
He did. I didn't.
He's
I-
driving
I-
the fu-
That- this
He's
guy-
driving the feathers.
This guy is super insecure.
Not
He's
insecure.
super insecure.
Not insecure. You just got to protect the brand. You wouldn't understand. He doesn't
never-
understand.
He never led nothing like that.
No.
I will say that I'm the king of getting fired up about something and jumping the gun. I am. I mean, I'll be the first to admit it.
That's
So,
one thing I like about
Yeah,
you.
energy level last week up here. This
It
week,
was.
For
I
me?
agree.
Yeah.
Well, I was running late.
Because you was
So here I was about to defend you. That's where I was leading in with that, and then you fire up with my energy levels not high enough
I'm
this
just
week.
saying, I miss it. It was
So is
awesome
there-
last week.
Hey, there's somebody in this room who loves to point a finger.
So is there ever a chance, like if let's say Chill comes in here and just not the best energy, that maybe somebody else could bring some?
I feel like I'm bringing some really good energy this week.
Well,
That's a shocker that you feel that way about yourself.
I'll amp it up. I'll amp up the energy a little. I'll amp up. I only took one this morning. Let me go ahead and hammer the second one.
Our sponsor.
Our sponsor, 5 Hour Energy Extra Strength. Only the grape.
Listen, this has been several years ago. I got in Law's truck one day to ride with him. Y'all, I'm not kidding you. There were 100 empty bottles of 5 Hour Energy.
Nobody ever rides with me. That's my
I'm
trash
not
can.
going to tell you what else was down there, but the passenger floorboard had 100 of those.
Go ahead, Hot. Tell them what else was down there. They love to call me out. Him and his favorite
I
teacher
don't know.
love to call me out about it.
have no idea what you're talking about, buddy.
They were empty. It was an empty box of something. We'll just leave that up.
Probably
yes.
Friendly Gus Foods, if I had to guess.
Why?
You don't like friendly Gus?
I love friendly Gus.
No, there you go.
Anyhow, circling back, what I was going to say
Leave
is
that
I
food
got
in there.
fired up about you coming on the show, giving us a freshness,
love it.
extra body. That way, if somebody don't show, we still got a full table. And I went ahead and out of my pocket, I was like, I emailed the dude on Etsy, got the new logo made with your fat head on it, took Mitch off the bus, which was big, and put him outside with you. And then
The little
Hight
bodies
said,
on the thing.
he's got to earn it. You jumped the gun on that. So I've been sitting with it, been holding it. And then I was like, well, maybe we need to add Jay to it. And now he's shaking his head no on Jay, but we shaking his head.
He hadn't earned it.
The little bodies are definitely not proportional.
That's the
'Cause
purpose.
I feel
That's
like
the
mine
whole
showed
point. I
way
like
more
it.
muscle than what I got.
Hey, if
Way
we're
more
gonna
muscle.
redo it, let's put a little point on my chin.
This is the
It doesn't have to be real.
This is the non-blow dried version of
rounded
you.
face.
No, the hair was spot on.
I feel like his face needs to be longer. In the,
It's crazy how good those. I mean, I know the guy. I don't know. I'm sure there's a computer program, but I sent him a headshot, and
Yeah.
Ivan out and across the world somewhere is knocking him down there.
I want to be in the bus.
No, you're not
There
there.
ain't enough windows.
in the bus.
I want to be in the bus.
There's only
No,
three.
no.
There's only three members on the bus.
Well, I feel like
can
if
get
you
four.
don't put
You can get
J
four.
Baby on it, we can get four. We
You
got
can get
four.
four in the bus. You've
Well,
had four in the bus.
We've had
Raji's
four.
not, Raji's not all the way out. I've talked to Raji, and if he wants to come back, he's back anytime. So we're going to
Dude's
leave.
OG.
I told you.
Yeah, that's true.
I
He
told
can
y'all he wasn't out.
All right, good.
Imagine that. He told us something.
Hey, let's put me over the top of the bus flying like an eagle.
Like a war eagle.
I actually
Hey, y'all can do my hands like this. Or like a crow.
It's tough to explain all that to Ivan via text. I mean,
Yeah, we
via
want
email.
to put Law over the top of the bus flying like an eagle.
Because with
picture.
Opie, I when I was sending it's an email, I was sending it to him. I was like, hey, I want to take this guy off, put this guy here. So the first four he sends me, everybody's in the wrong spot. And I'm like, no, the red-headed guy standing up.
He does not get to get on the bus. Is
It
that
took,
what you told
yeah,
him?
it took me like 3 or 4 times for him to get it right. What were you about to say? Hyde?
They had
Well,
you on the bus.
I know we kind of passed this by, but I wanted to circle back. I got to go to the SEC championship game, and I had some really good barbecue. Me and Reed Waldrep went. I may or may not have put our lives in peril at some point.
It's not surprising.
I almost missed the exit to go to the barbecue joint. We were going to eat lunch, and I decided I was already in the right lane, but I said, because my phone was giving me directions, and it was kind of late. You know how they'll do that till you late last
Always
minute.
blaming somebody else.
They're interstate.
I'm sure Siri said it like 8 times. You just weren't listening.
That could easily be the case. So anyway,
You're about to turn right here. You're about to turn right here.
I decided to cut across. Cut across the little part that you're not supposed to drive on. And I'm a little more. I've done that before once or twice, and normally it's a little more cement there, but there happened to be a little knoll.
We'll get a little air.
Waldrep swears we all four off the ground. He swears all 4 tires are off the ground. I said, yeah, we could have paused midair and had Waylon Jennings give a little voiceover right there.
How much do you think that little red truck was squeaking? You know how
for
those truck
sure.
does those
It's
shocks.
yeah.
but like I immediately just start dying laughing. I look over at him. Thankfully, he's laughing too. Like I'm legit like crying because he's like, man, we almost died, but he's like, we made it. And I was like, man, that's gonna be good for the radio show to talk about. And I said, the only thing that would make this better is if we get robbed, but nobody gets hurt, we don't really lose much money. That would be a great story to tell.
If we
That'd be
get
a
held
great-
up, by
Would it have been worth like a window getting broken in your truck?
No, I mean like somebody like holds us up on the street.
Oh, wow. Gunpoint.
When
That would have been a
not
good
gunpoint.
story.
You know what? I'm not as dedicated to this show as Adam is. I'm out.
Hey, anything for some content.
I'm out.
at the old dome when Shockley was in the SEC championship. When
Yeah.
he was a quarterback. We went with JJ Otts was up there. There was a bunch of us went to it. A bunch of homeless people came up to us. We were parked like up under an underpass or whatever. We had tailgated right there. You come back out after the game, it was freezing. And a bunch of homeless guys come up on us and was like, oh, crap. These guys finna mug us. Asked for some money. JJ took off his like $300 jacket and gave it to one of them. I was like, man, that's pretty awesome. I had
wanted-
zero money to give them, so I'm getting in the truck in a hurry so I don't get robbed.
Do you think they cashed in on that, or they just wear a nice jacket?
Just wearing a nice jacket.
Huh.
Homeless
So he
guy
didn't
was
give them what
wearing
they wanted,
It was
really?
cold. He wore that jacket that night. He might have cashed in on it later, but
All right, y'all, real quick before we keep going, make sure we don't miss this commercial break. We've got our last commercial break. Make sure you stay with us. We will be right back. Welcome back to the Big Ugly Sports Show, brought to you by Premier Properties. Here for our final segment. Been talking right here from Hight and Mr. Reed Waldrop's trip to the SEC Championship. Hight, tell us a little more about it.
Yeah, just a real quick, man. The barbecue joint, Das Barbecue.
Are you saying DOTS?
DAS.
Okay.
So it's kind of basically what I read is it's called Das Barbecue as a nod to the German settlers who brought barbecue to the area. But anyway, it was really, really good.
Shout out to those guys.
And Reed bought my lunch, so I told him
right up his alley.
He offered me gas money, and I was like, "No, don't worry about no gas money. I'm going up there anyway. You know, it's all good." He said, "Well, I'm gonna buy you lunch." I said, "Well, I'm ordering everything I want now. You just know I'm not skimping on my lunch because you're paying for it." He said, "All right, well, we're not going to Ruth Chris Steakhouse now. You didn't told me we was going to barbecue joint, so." I ordered everything I could. Collard greens. Man, they had pineapple in their baked beans. Fantastic. Yes, sir. Anyway, so we parked right there. I pull up. I ask a cop, "Hey, can I park right here on the street?" Because there was a sign that said no parking. But I didn't know how far that went. The curb wasn't yellow or anything. He looked at me like I was crazy. Like, yeah, I don't care where you park. That's what he told me. So we parked there, and then this lady comes out of a little shop. She said, "Y'all don't need to park there. You can get a ticket." And
not from that guy.
Well, so we moved, and anyway, so my buddy Charlie Cox, who he listens to the show, he was walking distance from.
What are you shaking your head for?
How is the story of you having to move your vehicle relevant to anything we want to talk about?
I just thought it was crazy that a cop.
I thought you were going to tell us about the barbecue place.
I don't know.
Jesus,
I'm rambling.
This is a long story to tell us about barbecue.
I just said in the last break, I said, we only got a few minutes left. I was like, all right.
What was the weather like?
It was perfect.
It was the best barbecue
weather
in the world.
What were you wearing?
But then this happened.
I'm sorry. I got a little sidetracked. You know I'm a little scattered.
Reed told the funniest story while we were sitting there eating. Let me tell y'all what he was talking about. I don't want to hear about the barbecue.
Well, gave us his plate, gave us a collard green, pineapple, and the beef.
Oh man, I had that brisket. Now the brisket had great flavor, and it wasn't dry like yours, but it was too soft, like it was falling apart, and that's not it. I didn't really like that.
Too tender.
Yes, that wouldn't win any competitions over there. But anyway,
there we go.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm at right now, so. That's it, I guess.
Tell us more about your parking spots.
I did. You maybe will appreciate this. Where I parked my truck, there was a car that a window had been busted out. There's glass all over the ground, and I was like, "Well, we're just gonna have to check."
Look safe.
Yeah, we'll have to take our chances with that.
You think that was real, or were they staging it for their podcast? For content.
It made ours too.
Yeah, here we are.
All right. We do have Army Navy. We don't have a pick 'em this week, but we've got Army Navy. Anybody y'all giving that?
Back. The laughing's hurting my back.
Y'all gonna give that game anything? Army Navy? Will y'all tune in or?
Negative.
Well, it'll be the only game on. So
is this America's game? Is that what they call? Or is that? Isn't one of them called America's game?
I think the one on Veterans Day is.
Okay.
But this is a big for the military guys. This is what I was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Those Army is mainly the officers that went to the Naval Academy.
I won't get a chance to watch. I'll be coaching wrestling this weekend. So
doing it up. You gotta do better than Garnett did last week. He did it up.
I just hope they have a decent hospitality room.
A lot of champions.
What do you think their parking situation will be like?
You know Vidalia, Big Bobby, he's going to have a
dead
good
horse
hospitality room.
Too much?
They call him beat one?
Yeah, I mean, he thinks he's funny. He's not, so I don't really. So sometimes it's just sometimes it's best to just ignore him and move on, you know.
Oh, all right. So y'all tell me real quick, name one bowl game. And before I even go any further, be looking out on social media. We are going to do a bus bowl mania where I think we all agreed $10 is what we do for the entry fee to get in. That'll get you a bracket, $10 per bracket, and we'll give the winnings away obviously to the winner. We are doing with the spread. Is that what y'all want to do with the spreads? Does that make it better, or y'all just want to do?
That's what you got.
Well, you could. That's. I could change it. Oh, you've already picked. Okay, so I think that makes it better, evens it out. So with the spreads, but let's build the pool up so we'll have a good pool to give away. So be looking for that on social media. But what's one bowl game other than Georgia and FSU that you guys are really most excited to watch?
So obviously the playoffs are the most interesting game. So I feel like we need to
exclude
pick something else.
Well, that would have been nice.
We should have communicated this
You
beforehand.
definitely should have communicated.
But I feel like you should know. You should know. Like if you have if you have like an instinct for this thing like I do, then it just comes natural to you. But anyway, I've got Penn State, Ole Miss as
You said old.
Ole
I like
Miss.
old sounds better.
You-
Old.
you-
OLE.
I know the level of enunciation that I have, and there's no way you could tell if I said old or old.
You said old.
You did.
Ole Miss.
I think you
there's
said
no
old.
D.
You didn't
I think
enunciate
so.
as well as you did Penix.
Speaking
last
of
week.
that, I got 2 tickets for sale to that game.
Penix.
No, I'm good.
I think you did say Penix last week, though.
Penix.
All right, who you get? So who do you think will win that game?
Is it a hard or soft X?
That's good. You've been sitting on that, or is that from the hit, right?
Yeah,
I've got
he's
Penn
definitely
State.
sat on that.
Penn State, I
Okay.
think.
Oh,
He's
really?
I think.
He definitely sat on it.
Check my picks. Check my picks.
Height, you got one you were interested in dialing into?
Well, I'm with Law here. I really want. What?
Let's make these quick. I got another topic we got to get to.
Michigan, Alabama is the one for me because I really loved. I saw the video when they announced Michigan was going to play Alabama, and them dudes were devastated.
That's a bad look. How bad were
They
they
were
wanting Florida State to
devastated.
come
They
on there?
wanted FSU so bad.
For me, it's Ohio State, Missouri.
So just going with one of the ones we said not to go with.
Well, we didn't preface that
First of
before
all,
the show.
first of all, this is my show, not yours. So you don't make the rules. I'll say what I want
Can
to
we
say.
say our show?
I feel like we agreed.
He said
You're right.
I feel like we agree.
Missouri, Ohio State is one I want to see. I hope Missouri pours it on them.
yeah.
They got their quarterback in the transfer portal, and anytime Ohio State can lose,
Why is there quarterback transfer?
they must have a dude or.
Who's better than
I
Florida
guarantee
State?
you they got somebody coming in, and they said, "All right, buddy, appreciate you this one year. We got somebody coming transfer."
Yeah, he wasn't that great.
Law, who you got? Just name one of the finals. I know you weren't ready.
I was with that one. I wanted to say in any game that an SEC team's going to beat, I'm going to like that one, and I'm really going to like Alabama beating up after they beat Michigan.
I'm kind of torn on that. I mean, I hate Alabama so much, and you almost just want them to lose. But then at the same time, I hate Michigan real bad.
But then
And
how can
I'm pulling for
how
Texas,
can the
Washington.
unrealistic Georgia fans say, "Well, see if Georgia had been in it, they don't."
Well,
know
no, but that won't really matter. I mean, that,
it's like immediately when Georgia lost, they go back in the game and try to find how Georgia got cheated. I don't understand that at all.
everybody does
It's a
that.
waste of time.
That's crazy.
All right. So, Height, back to you.
Yeah,
There's $100
yeah.
off of a bet from you and Raji up in there that's not getting paid.
So,
And I want to know what would you guys do if you were
so
Raji?
the bet was if FSU doesn't make it into the Final Four this year, he owes me $100.
And this bet was made 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
3 or 4 years ago.
They didn't get in, and he said he refuses to. Now I think that was the emotion talking.
No, he's not paying you.
Why?
Because
He already told you that when yesterday. Mm-hmm. Well, he's still emotional. He and I hadn't discussed it.
he said he's not paying you because they went undefeated and the committee left them out, and they should have been in.
That wasn't
That's
part of-
irrelevant.
Thank you.
That's irrelevant.
First thing you said, it made sense today.
Would I have
It is
paid it?
irrelevant.
Like, are you following? If you're Rogers, you're a diehard. Let's say
I would have paid it.
Let's say you're Georgia, and Georgia
I don't
and
make
Georgia
bets
wins
off
the
that.
SEC championship, and you think they're a shoe in, and they don't get in, and now you owe him $100 when you're like they were there clearly should have been in.
I mean, I would have fussed about it, and I would continue to fuss about it for life. But I would have paid it.
But here's the thing: I had nothing to do with that. All I did was 3 years ago make a bet with him. It's not my fault.
He's adamant.
Well, he's also an idiot. So, you take that in consideration. He still owes me
You've always
$100.
got to consider.
But I
that.
feel like you think everyone's an idiot.
He does.
except you.
That's fair.
No, I'm an idiot sometimes too. Yeah. Now you're not all the Raji's not all the time an idiot, but in this situation, he's an idiot.
So when you say he's an
Unlike
idiot,
some people. Unlike
Yeah.
some people.
is Opie more?
90. Which
More?
one?
No,
which one's
no.
more of an idiot?
Opie, have you ever known anybody to throw out the word idiot more than your brother?
Never.
He's almost loses his flavor.
It still resonates. It still hits home for him, especially. One of the reasons I've started saying it more is because I've picked up on how he doesn't like it that I say it so much, and so.
No, I don't. I enjoy it.
No, you don't.
I enjoy it. I don't.
Oh, now it's time to reverse psychology, me, right?
Oh man.
I mean, if it was coming from somebody I respected, it might hurt.
Oh, that tells you it
But from
hurt,
Adam?
Brad. That tells you it hurts.
See, now he's trying to throw cheap shots and low blows. I'm really getting to it because he respects me so much.
So both, I would say both of you are,
The
you know,
most.
the
I
Hightower
respect you the
boys. The Hightower boys are both, I would consider, quick-witted and smart mouths. Like, so I want to know where Uncle G's not that way, is he?
It's kind of like
Aunt Cindy's not. I mean, like, so where are we?
No, she's mild mannered.
Right.
My dad, he's just salt of the earth. Yeah, blue collar guy. Yeah.
So this just something y'all just manufactured amongst from Buddy Johnson.
I think it comes from a lack of supervision as a kid.
No, we had great parents. I'm not going to talk bad about my parents like you are. So,
I believe you have on the show before.
But that's why I'm the favorite of the family.
Will
But-
Uncle G tune into this?
No
yeah.
doubt.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's going to get up 5 a.m., do his devotion.
Send us Bible
Is he a
verses.
Wednesday morning guy? Is he first morning that airs?
Oh, yeah. I don't
Sometimes depends on. He sits in the deer stand, listens to it sometimes.
So he don't.
I think that I started having such a smart mouth because I was the youngest and I always was the littlest. So that was what I had. I couldn't,
You were not small at all. You were as big as me because you had a massive head.
That's fair.
And you were
Yeah, I
like
did.
a big kid for your age, and I was kind of short and fat, and
Well, you were really big and round like you are now. So
Really
you've always
big.
been bigger than me.
but I
So
think
two
it-
totally-
I
two
think
totally different
I had
shape for
older
the brothers.
cousins that were bigger than me. We had a neighbor that was bigger than us, and I was just small
Female?
mouth. No,
Cinderella story out of nowhere. Look at you now.
here we are.
why they call it the pride.
I think it's because we're 17 months apart, extremely competitive. He was a big kid for his age, so he beat me in a lot of stuff. I beat him in a lot of stuff. It was very
He
competitive
beat me in
growing
a
up.
few things.
A lot of stuff, most stuff.
Most. So wow, this changed fast. Most from a lot to most. Matter of fact, every
One
day.
thing I
Almost
couldn't beat him
everything.
in, one thing I couldn't beat him in was we'd be playing football in the front yard, and he was so fast. If I could just get my hands on him, I'd have killed him. I could not get my hands on him.
It's hard for
Dude's
round
so
people to
slow.
be
He's
fast.
so fast.
Dude's so slow.
It's hard for
So
round people.
fast.
Unless they're going downhill.
Lateral
Then
speed
they just
stopped
roll.
my strength.
Oh,
He did play tight end, and the coach used to say he ran turtle routes when he was running routes.
That's true.
oh man. All right, boys. Bring us home, Height.
Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and thebiguglysportshow.com, and give us a subscription, a follow, a share, a like, a comment, anything.
Chill, Hight, Roger and Lowy, crushing friendly Gus. Bulldog Vision, all these boys see.
Yeah, make sure you. We got Height. Height's dialing up on thebiguglysportshow.com, making some changes on there. So make sure you get on there and check that out when you get a chance. Make sure you're subscribed. If you're interested in sponsoring us, reach out. We will help your business go to the next level. Another great episode of the Big Ugly Sports Show. Make sure you tune in next week. As always, wherever you're at, get up on that bus.
Hangout time is weak. He really just blowed that he need a hairpiece. Yeah, I'm back now. Yeah, they call me Big Roger. Yeah, but sometimes in they cut, they call me Bevo Lottie. We stay with the facts that you know we gon' discuss. Fussing or fighting, yeah, we get up on that bus. Young.